Garden tour time, spring 2020. Everything has been in the ground or in its bucket for, let's see, 2 to 4 weeks, depending on what it is. So let's start with the trees. This is my nectarine tree. As you can see, it looks like I'm gonna get a lot of fruits off of here. There's a ton of them. Quite happy with this tree compared to some of the other ones. This is my peach tree, which has quite a few fruits on it as well. These two trees seem to be doing the best. Just chocked full of, let's see, I think the light's messed up, but chock full of little baby fruits. I'm excited. This is an apple tree. As you can see, it is still blooming, so it has some flowers on it, which hopefully means we'll get some good fruit. But there is a frost potentially coming later this week, so I'm a little concerned that that's gonna mess up my apple tree. So we shall see. And yes, I left the tag on there so I'd remember what it was, and then later on can decide if it was worth the price. All right, this is my plum tree, which had flowers at the same time as the peach and nectarine tree did, but I don't see any fruit on this one. So I'm a little concerned it's not gonna fruit this year, but I don't know what it's going to do. We'll see. This one is a pear tree, and I do see a couple of little pears. We got that one, and then there's that little one right there, and there's a couple over here. So this one, you see it? That right there. And then this little tiny pear looking thing is another one right there. The lighting back here is bad because this is the east side of the house, and therefore the sun is now on the west because it's almost time for sunset. That's just a random flower I got last year, and I'm kind of surprised it came back to life. Really am. This was some strawberry roots that I planted. They don't seem to be making it. They came in a pack of 10, so you can see I have these other buckets with those same roots that I think I'm gonna take my bucket and use it for something else. Here's some spinach that I planted a couple weeks ago, maybe the beginning of March, so like 4 to 6 weeks ago now. It's doing relatively well. There's some more of that spinach. This is a pepper plant. I think these ones are banana peppers. That over there is, it's either zucchini or cucumber. I don't actually remember which one. Has a little another leaf sprouting up. So whatever it is, it's doing relatively well. That's a lavender plant from last year as well that just, came to life over the last couple of weeks. I think I'm gonna harvest some of that and dry it out. Maybe make a lavender smudge stick. Let me see if this actually smells good. This smells okay. This is a little tomato plant and probably a zucchini plant. Same situation in this bucket. These were pretty big buckets, so I decided to try and grow multiple things in them. We will see how it works out. These little guys are watermelon plants. Another bell pepper. Well, let me see. Is this bell pepper? Nope, this is the banana peppers. So banana pepper. This one's a tomato plant and a bell pepper plant. This is dill. We got some more lavender because I thought the other one was dying. Lemongrass because I heard that keeps away mosquitoes, so trying to grow that. There's rosemary Italian oregano. Use that in some pasta dishes later this year. Or, you know, when it fully blooms out. This is a blueberry bush that looks like it has some little baby blueberries on it. This is a blackberry bush. I don't know if that's the start of a blackberry or not. We'll see how that turns out. We got another, oh, this is a cucumber plant, so that must be a cucumber plant too. And those other ones over there where I said they were cucumber or zucchini, those were cucumber. And this is a bell pepper, tomato. Looks like I have cucumber and watermelon in here. That was probably a bad idea. This is watermelon. This is, All right, folks, I'm confused. But one of these is zucchini and one of them's cucumber. Guess we'll know which when they decide to fruit. Tomato, of course, tomato. Planted two different varieties of tomatoes. One is a smaller variety called a patio tomato. And then one is the larger, beefier variety that was over there. Something boy. What was the name of that tomato? Let's go see. Better Boy tomatoes over here. These are onions that seem to be doing pretty darn well. I wasn't sure they were going to make it at first because these little onion leaves or sprouts or whatever you want to call them were just very floppy and like this, kind of turning brown at first. But now they look pretty good, so I think those are doing well. I need to mulch these last couple containers. That's another one of the bell peppers. This is a broccoli plant. It's doing pretty good. I planted this one at the beginning of March. So the herbs and the leafy greens and the strawberries I planted at the beginning of March. The rest of these plants I did in the last 2 weeks. Hoping that was the last frost, but weatherman said there's going to be a frost in, when did he say? The end of this week. So hopefully everything survives. If not, there's a nice local nursery that I can get cheap plants at again, seedlings at. I just don't necessarily want to start over. But even with the bad lighting, this is my garden. That's my little compost bin. I started doing that in March as well. It's been doing pretty good. Oh, so this is my mother's catch-all pile. Last year, she tried to do some gardening and things weren't growing the way she wanted. She just threw all the dirt over here and has kind of been cold composting / growing a few things in it. So she threw some potatoes that were kind of sprouting and going bad into this pile, just on the top, didn't even bury them. So me and my sister noticed they had sprouts and we buried them, and now they have full grown leaves. Like, these are going to be legit potato plants. So we'll see how that turns out as well, because we didn't even really put any effort into that. It's just like cover them up with some dirt, see what happens. These are cabbage plants from last year that really need to be harvested and pulled up because they're on their last legs. You can see they've bolted. I actually think, oh, I forgot this bin over here. This is some Swiss chard and some lettuce. What kind of lettuce is this? Buttery crunch lettuce. So those are amongst the leafy greens I also planted early in the season. Oh, that's a little bit better lighting. Let me try and angle from this way. All right, so those are all my containers. Yes, it looks like a lot. Yes, I probably went overboard, but you know, things happen. So, And that's all for today.